Hey everybody, welcome. This is going to be your hands-on review of all the primary concepts we've talked about in this series so far. So if you have all of those down, you're a pro, you know exactly what you're doing, then go ahead and skip to the next episode. But if you just think you could use a little bit more practice and you just want to make sure you got all those concepts before starting new stuff, then this is the video for you. But either way, you got to hit subscribe. So even if you're a pro, make sure you smack that sub button. And if you're not a pro, then enjoy this video and then subscribe. All right, so where to begin? Well, we have this activity here, and I never told you this, guys, but you can actually resize these, which is kind of cool. So you can really test the dynamicness of your design. We haven't really gotten to design a whole lot, but just thought I'd throw that out there. So I still have my notes up on the chalkboard, so I'm going to be peeking back there, but the very first thing we did was we talked about activities. And when you start, you have one activity, and in the upcoming section, we're going to be creating new activities and showing how to launch those. So don't worry about that right yet, but just know that where all of the work you're going to be doing is in this activity_main.xml for the design, and that is tied to actual XML, which you can see by slapping this text button down here. Looks a little something like this. Right now it's pretty empty because we don't have a whole lot in our activity. Now the actual code for this is in main.activity.java, so anything with a .java, that's where the code goes, and we have some old code that we had from earlier. We can go through that soon. When you start, you'll just have this onCreate. That's part of the activity lifecycle. We'll probably get into that. But basically, when this is created, this stuff is executed. All right, so that's the main thing. Now, when you're in the activity, you have layouts. So, for example, this constraint layout. We could also just do like any of these layouts, really. And so when you have a layout, you can put views inside of them. So we'll go to common, we can put a button in here. You can see how small our screen is because our buttons are huge. All right, so that doesn't look right. Why is it doing that? Okay, there we go. Let's add that button in here. Let's try this again. Okay, so we add this button, and the button is indented from the constraint layout, so that indicates that it is part of that constraint layout. Now you hover over this, you got this red exclamation mark here, and it's going to give you some mumbo jumbo. I just clicked it. It'll jump to 0, 0 at runtime. So when you're looking at this and you go to the text, you have this position layout editor absolute X. That's just saying it's going to look in the editor like it's at this position, but when you actually run the application, it's going to jump up to the top left corner. So if we just run this app, we can show that pretty quickly. And we actually have some issues because our source code has old code in it. So I'm just going to comment this out for now. Great. And now we should be able to build this, and hopefully there are no other issues. So again, if we look at the design, the button is positioned here, but it'll jump up to 0, 0. And you can see that when this actually launches, one thing I've learned about doing this series is that, man, this emulator is slow. I either need a new computer or a faster emulator. You can see the button is jumped up to the top left. So that's that. Now to fix that, you can anchor it. So you grab these little circles, anchor it to the left, anchor it to the right. That'll position right in the middle. And you can do it to the top as well. And when you do it to the top, you can see that space right there is 8. You can define that right here. So we could set that to 16 or whatever. Then if we did it again, it defaults to 16. Sorry about that. So that is how you position, but that's really not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is that there's an ID, and you can see this over in the XML. You can see ID right here, and you can also see the positioning here as well. So there you go. So we can use that ID throughout our code. For example, inside of the main activity, we can do something like find view by ID and pass in r.id and then whatever the ID of our button is. That is how we get the view in our code. The other way to get our view in our code is with the click handler. So if we are in our design here, we have the onClick. We can make a method to take this. So we already have a method defined. We'll just use that one. Let's take a look at what that's called. It's called handle text. So I'm going to copy that and paste that in the on click here. So when we click this button, this method will be executed, and we can uncomment it now. We still have to worry a little bit about the syntax because we got some stuff in here, but let's just talk a little bit through this. We'll get rid of these three things. You can work with the button using this V. So v.setEnabled, you can set that to false as an example. That's the example we've been using, and that's a Boolean, which is why it's not in quotes. It's just a Boolean like that. You can also use this toast to make things pop up on the screen. So let's say when you click the button, you just want to say clicked. Here's how you would do something like that. And we can run this, and while that loads, we can also do the logging, which I've told you guys about a couple times. Log.d, and notice when you do these, you're going to have some imports. You can see the imports I'm actively using because they're colored, where these gray ones I'm not currently using. So yeah, make sure you get that. Copy that down. And again, if you want to make it do it automatically, go up here in Preferences. See if I can even find it. Yep. Editor, General, Auto Import, and then should be this one right here. Add unambiguous imports on the fly. Unambiguous meaning there's no question that it's the right one. You can give this a tag such as my log, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. And then some message. And that's going to show up in this logcat down here. So we can search for my log. All right, so let's run this. And this will give us an opportunity to see this toast and the log.d in action just as a review. Make sure you get the syntax down. It is a little cumbersome. We'll space this out. And if you're new to Java, notice that spacing it like this is totally fine. It's white space insensitive. So we click the button. It pops up down here saying clicked, and it fades away. And then over here on our log, we have this message, which is this string right here. So other than that, I think we've covered most of pretty much everything, except we did it all in one video. Maybe I could have just did this video and saved you guys like 27 videos. But yeah, the YouTube algorithm, I forgot. Crap. Yeah, got to get that watch time. So just continue watching these episodes, and I think we'll be able to get through a lot of other cool information and start building some cool stuff. So hopefully this is the perfect pace for you guys. Maybe you got a little bit of experience. Maybe you're intermediate, but you don't have tons of experience. And maybe my pace is a little slow, but it also gives you time to really process the information. And I don't want to make an information encyclopedia. I want this to be almost a leisure to, I don't know how to word it, but a leisurely activity. Is that the way to say it? I want you to be able to sit down at your desk and, drink some coffee, eat some spaghetti, and watch some tutorials, code out some stuff, make some fun apps. I don't want this to be like reading the encyclopedia or this isn't supposed to be too crazy. So hopefully I am serving that purpose for you guys. Yeah, and that's it. So see you in the next one. We're going to start some new stuff. Hopefully you guys are excited, and don't quit. Don't be a loser, okay? Just don't. Not today.